It's a What's Cooking Wednesday here on the morning show, TMS family, and the month of January is still pushing along, which of course means we are still holding on to Veganuary. So we give you our very last week of celebrating all things veganism, plant-based meals, and full-on nutrition. So we are wrapping it off very nicely with a bang by hosting the lovely author, food activist, champion of ancient grains and seasonal produce, and indigenous food activist, Chef Mokgadi Itsweng is in the building. I'm so excited.
It sounds so good, especially when you're introducing her like that. I'm looking forward to this discussion. Now, many are doing what they can to stick to a plant-based diet for the month of January, like we've spoken about over the last couple of weeks, especially for Veganuary. Now, we trust that you can push you across that line where eventually you decide to be a part of this. And there's one lady that I know that can do exactly that. It is definitely Chef Mokgadi. I'm sure she's rolling up her sleeves and getting ready to prepare an amazing plant-based dish, guaranteed to make those who haven't already change their tune to eventually going plant-based once a week, one meal a week or something along those lines. Chef, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm so looking forward to today.
I think we are too. Look, I mean, I was telling you just before we came on that I am a big fan of indigenous grains. But for a person that doesn't know what indigenous grains is or what an indigenous food activist is, what is it?
So basically, what is indigenous? So indigenous is things or everything that represents us,
yes,
and that comes from us, that is authentically ours.
Yes.
So the indigenous grains that I talk about is mostly the sorghums, the pearl millet, which are grains that grow indigenously here, which means they grow wild here.
Yes.
You can access them. And I mean, if you know, growing up, mabele.
Yes.
We all know
all the
mabele,
time.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and so my whole thing about being an activist or an advocate for these indigenous grains is to get more people to eat them.
Yes.
Because they're good for us, but also when we talk about planet health and we talk about climate change, we need to, us as humans, we need to grow and eat food that actually is good for us, but also good for the planet. So we need to be in balance with the planet. And these grains, these indigenous grains, like sorghum and pearl millet, which actually grow here, are good for the planet and good for us. So for me, I'm trying to get as many people on the good planet, health, to get everybody on there and eat and know that we can actually make a difference.
Chef, you know, you're making me actually very excited because if I think about the idea of doing good for the planet, food isn't the one place that I always think of I can make my difference. And I think this feels like it is actually possible for me, and it's something that's around us because it's local and home. What are we making today, Chef?
Okay, so today we're making a sorghum bowl. So it's a summer bowl. And the nice thing with this bowl is that sorghum is the base. And you can literally play around with whatever vegetables you have in the fridge, whatever seasonal vegetables are there. So you can still have the same bowl in winter, in summer, because sorghum is so versatile and so delicious, right? So today I'm showing you how to create a nice, very vibrant and very beautiful bowl, but easy. I mean, you were wondering what happened with the onion there.
Because it looks like a flower, Chef.
It is a flower, it's an onion flower, and it's the easiest thing to do. And that's the thing with vegetables, right? You can really, really play and be as creative. So what you do is you basically cut your onion into 8 quarters, but making sure that the bud is still there. The bud is still there.
Sure.
And you just put that in your oven and roast it at 200 degrees for 10-15 minutes, and then it starts to just give away.
Yes,
And it has this.
I love it. Okay, so what do we help you with? What do I start chopping? How are we going about this?
So what I've done is, because sorghum takes a while to cook, because it's one of those grains you have to soak overnight to get the best out of it, and then you cook it for about an hour. I normally use my pressure cooker, so I cook it for like 30-40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah,
which is
saves us some time.
Exactly.
Okay,
so I've already par-cooked the sorghum, and what we're going to do, and I've roasted some vegetables. So what we're going to do is make the rest of the vegetables.
Okay.
So I want you to, so I've cut my and you can see these are like all vegetables you can get anywhere.
Yes.
It's not something like special ingredients you need to get. So it's all basic things that you have in your fridge, or you can get at your market or at your supermarket. So these cauliflower broccolis, I've just cut them in half to basically just show the, this nut, because also you eat with your eyes first.
Yes.
So that's why we took the onion and made it into a
That
flower.
flower.
So when we present it and when you do have your bowl, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and everything else.
Yes.
Nice. So I want you to start by heating up some oil
Okay.
and frying these lightly in some olive oil and garlic. Okay.
Okay.
And then just literally 2-3 minutes just to get them to nicely brown.
Okay.
And just remove them as quickly as possible because we don't want them to be soggy. We still want the crunch because there's nothing. I love vegetable and I love
When they still have that crunch.
Yes,
Yeah, the nutrition as well still remains. Okay.
So let's do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch on the stove here.
Yes.
And then, Chef, what am I going to do for you on this
so
side?
I'm gonna need you to put together the ingredients for the dressing.
Yes, the dressing
So
for the bowl.
the dressing that I'm making today is called the Green Goddess dressing.
Okay.
And the reason why it's one of my favorite dressings because like the bowl, you can use whatever green vegetables you have.
you've got already.
Yes. So you can be
Yes.
the goddess on the day and say, Ish, let me see what I have
what I've got in
today.
the
But
fridge.
maybe I've got herbs and I've got garlic, I've got maybe some ginger, I'll use some lemon juice and some vinegar, just blend all that together and there I
Make
have
a
my
quick,
green.
nice dressing.
Yes, yeah.
What are we doing? What are
Okay,
we
so
using today?
sorry, I had to
go for it.
disturb. I'm putting the
Please,
oil,
so that
right?
you make it
So
right.
do I put the garlic first or the
So
broccoli?
Let's just swirl
Okay.
this so that we get the oil into the pan.
Okay, yes. That's why Chef Mohad is here and it's
so-
not me cooking. I'm just
So we're gonna
helping.
start with the
broccoli.
With the broccoli first.
Okay.
Yes.
So do I have to put it face flat or can I just throw it in?
You can just throw it in and
Okay.
play around. It's not.
There's no technicalities.
No, it's not
Okay.
really that serious, you know.
Okay, cool.
The thing we're trying to get here, that's why we're not crowding the pan, is
Okay.
to get it to crisp. To have
Okay.
that nice crisp
Brown,
crust. Yes, the
okay.
nice brown. in it.
Okay.
Because that will also add flavor. Because when you toast it and crisp it, it adds that nice burnt briny flavor.
okay.
Yes, yes.
We want that flavor.
To that broccoli
Yes.
also included. What are we
Can
going to
you
put
pass
in our
Yes,
dressing?
so can you pass me the
Coriander
the
and parsley?
coriander? Yes,
Okay.
the coriander and the avocado.
The avo as well.
Yes.
Oh, is that for the
This is the
dressing?
green.
Okay.
This is for the dressing.
Yes, now I'm
Juice.
seeing it. And some lemon juice as well.
Okay. So what you're going to do is, so this is a trick I use to take out the avo.
The avo.
Okay. I just place my spoon around the avo and I just move it slightly like that. Oh. You see how we got
And you get
everything?
all of it in.
Sure.
There's
Oh,
nothing.
wow, there's nothing left.
Like nothing, Chef.
Yes.
She was.
So we waste food a lot because we just, I suppose you don't know the tricks, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
how
we're
we
gonna
get
use
the
just
apple.
half.
Yes, we're gonna use half, and I'm gonna need you to maybe slice it a little bit so that it's easy when you blend it.
When I blend it,
Yes, and
add
then
some
we're gonna,
lemon juice
yes,
as
some
well in
lemon
there.
juice, some vinegar,
And
some
I think
honey
some
as
honey
well.
as well.
Yes,
To sweeten it up.
some fresh garlic. I love fresh garlic in dressings because it brings a nice flavor, but it's also pungent and beautiful. There's nothing. But obviously, we don't want to overdo the garlic because you are going to work today.
So you don't want to change things now for everybody else because they don't have context.
Look, this is getting super exciting. We're
Yes.
heating up the broccoli. We're making sure that we're getting that brown effect as well. Also, on the other side, Josie is making the dressing. So stick around because when we get back, we will be catching up and finding out what else needs to happen for this bowl to come together. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching The Morning Show on this Wellness Wednesday. Listen, we're continuing our conversation right here in the kitchen with our chef, Usenzela. We're continuing with also our journey with veganuary. All right, and chef, we're doing our final touches. Konamanje,
Yes.
what are we supposed to be doing?
Okay, so I showed you the sorghum earlier on.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is, during the break, we made the
looks so
the
nice
green
and
goddess
Yes, I love the green goddess.
dressing. Yeah. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use half of it to dress the sorghum,
Okay.
which already has herbs.
All
So
right.
if you can do that for
So
me.
let's do half of this.
And then we're just gonna plate everything.
Okay.
So we're adding the dressing into the sorghum to add more flavor to the sorghum, to make it nice and
Yes.
delicious and
Okay.
and all that.
And all that. And this
Yes.
smells
And
divine.
that delicious part is very important because a lot of
Yes.
people think plant-based food
is
Isn't
boring.
necessarily tasty.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So this actually shows you that you can do so much. You can add so much flavor
enough, Chef? Should I
to
add
your
more?
vegetables.
Sure.
And this dressing is my absolute favorite because it's simple, you know, it's what you have in the kitchen, but I use avo as the base.
Right.
And if avo is expensive for that month, you can even use peas,
As a
green
substitute,
peas.
eh?
Yes, you can definitely use green peas as a substitute for that. That's
And I
perfect.
suppose even for the weird people like myself and William who don't eat evo,
Exactly.
we can do
you
the
can
peas.
do the green peas.
Okay.
You get the same kind of texture.
Okay.
So and the flavor from the peas,
All right.
and also the
And then
nutrition from the peas.
the one that's left
so,
this
yes,
side.
then we're gonna use it at the end.
Okay, perfect.
So we're gonna start to plate now.
Right.
So
Our
if we
sorghum.
can do our sorghum first.
Okay.
And again, you must remember that when we plate and just
I like
put
the
it to the side.
presentation here, Chef.
Put it to the
Nice,
side.
okay.
Yes.
It looks
It's beautiful.
Like a
So
flower.
it's the
It's
onion flowers. Like I
beautiful.
explained earlier, you cut it into 8 pieces, like that, making sure that you keep the root intact. And when you grill it, it just literally just gives way and
nice.
creates this beautiful flower.
All right. And now we're putting all of this in, Chef?
Yes, we're gonna put the sorghum around. Yeah,
Okay,
just
all
in one
around.
corner
Okay,
there.
cool.
Just in one corner. And again, like I explained, we plate for effect.
Yes.
So we're gonna
We
put
eat with our
we're gonna
eyes
put
first.
the onion in the middle there.
Okay.
So it becomes the centerpiece. So when you look at the bowl, the first thing you see is a beautiful onion that's opened
Am I
up.
on the right track
And the
here?
colors are beautiful, yes.
Okay.
I like how the sorghum almost looks like mint.
Yeah.
That's because you're tiny
Trying to cheat yourself, Magic.
So you're like, actually could be mint.
It could be mint
in my
head.
Yeah, in my head. No,
Yes.
I get you.
All right, and then
But
what,
it's so
what else are we
delicious.
putting in,
So
Chef?
we're gonna put the butternuts, which we've grilled.
And this is grilled, okay.
Yes, grilled butternuts.
Right.
Yeah, that's enough sorghum
Okay.
there.
Perfect.
We'll put the butternut, and again,
Amazing.
we are plating for effect. We want it to wow. When you eat it, you'll be like, oh yes.
Yes.
You know, someone once said to me, there's a way that vegetarians and vegans make a salad,
Right.
and there's a way that everybody else makes a salad. So
There's a
this
huge
is how-
difference.
This is how the vegetarians make the salads.
And then you put
know,
your broccoli there.
The broccoli.
Okay.
So what we did with the broccoli is that we browned it. We literally just grilled it lightly, grilled it in olive oil, and before taking it out, we just added a squeeze of lemon juice and some garlic, and obviously seasoned it with salt and pepper.
Yeah.
So it's beautifully done. It's got
Yeah.
the flavor of the garlic. It's a little sour from the lemon.
Yeah.
And it's got that nice flavor. So
It reminds me of
just-
that kid that we've seen a video of saying, not broccoli, mama, it's broccoli. Broccoli.
Not broccoli.
Not broccoli, mama, please. Okay?
Listen, Chef, the last time you were here, you told us more about the book Vegilicious.
Yes.
And I was telling you off air that when my mother-in-law came, she was attracted to the book, attracted to the person who's on the book first, and then she realized, oh my gosh, this is vegetables. And then she wanted to take my book.
Of
How's
course.
the book doing?
The book is doing very well. It just shows you how everyone is willing or just open
Yes.
to another way. But more importantly, how important things like veganuary are. Because they open you up to another way. And also, the book has created a buzz around vegetables and around being comfortable around cooking and eating vegetables, because a lot of people struggle with that.
I think it's also just finding different ways to cook your vegetables. Because
Exactly.
Rona, we just know if it's butternut, re tlo itsenya mo metsing, ra itsenya botoro, and then a bit of sugar, and that's it. And that's every Sunday this happens. But if we find somebody who's going to say re tlo kenya in the oven, this is how we're going to grill
Exactly.
it. Broccoli sometimes, you know, you just utlo steam and that's it. But all of these variations make the food more exciting.
Exactly, and food is exciting.
Yes.
And nothing is as
supposed to
exciting
be.
in the kitchen as vegetables because, I mean, look at this. This has moved,
looks-
the onion moved from just being an onion to being a
something
flower.
beautiful. Look
You
at
know,
that.
I mean,
That
it looks incredible, incredible. It's beautiful, it's
Yeah.
easy, it's light. It's got all the flavors in there. It's got the sweet from the butternut. The sorghum is so nicely dressed that you could eat it on its own. The broccoli with the lemon,
Right.
the umami flavor from the mushroom. So you've got all the flavors, the different flavors in there coming together and being brought together nicely by this this green goddess dressing, which
looks
is
beautiful.
incredible.
Chef, what do you tell someone right now who's watching, who is interested and likes the premise of being or trying the whole veganism thing, right? And saying, "Marauna nama." What do you tell them? How do you encourage them?
I'm like, try once a week.
Okay.
You know, try once a week and see how your body feels. You see, the thing about vegetables and eating a plant-based lifestyle is you try it once and you're like, I kind of like that.
Yes.
Sure.
Then you try it again. So don't put yourself under pressure to go fully vegan.
Your body's
Try-
going to go into shock.
Your body's going to go into shock. You're going to go back to eating meat within like a couple of days.
But I like the feeling that you get when you start eating certain foods, particularly
Exactly.
plant-based.
Yes.
You instantly just feel that sense of healing. I have a problem with my digestive system. So as soon as I eat grains and I
Yes.
eat vegetables,
Yes.
I feel the difference because every
Exactly.
morning I wake up with a stomach ache.
Yes.
But when I start doing that, I instantly just feel the difference. So I think
Exactly.
that just the healing when it comes to a plant-based diet is amazing.
No, it definitely is. I mean, if you look at how we all grew up, our grandmothers, I grew up with my grandmother, and I know a lot of
It was
people did.
veggies all
And
the
it
way.
was always veggies. Yes, and even if you had meat,
Yeah.
you would have like maybe bones with cabbage,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
with lots of veggies. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the veggies were always forward. Our ancestors knew something about health and food and eating, which is why the grains, especially the millets, which have now actually been recognized by FAO as the plants we should be growing. And 2023 is dedicated to the millets. It's the year of the millets, according to FAO. So what that means is that they've put all our food, all our indigenous ingredients, all our
Okay.
indigenous grains on the global stage
Yeah.
to
Sure.
say these are the plants that we must grow as humans so we can actually move towards better climate change
Okay.
and better health for us
Yes.
as humans. Because as you know, our food system is the one that's really killing our climate.
Right.
It's a big thing that is happening, and people don't talk about what we as humans can do to change and to actually heal our land and heal our earth.
I like that.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the other things that people have started doing, right? The solution to the looming food shortage that we're going to be experiencing around the world to that effect is to start growing your own food.
Yes.
And a plant-based diet would be just the right place for you to start. And then you won't be force-fed ama veggies if they look like
Yeah,
this.
they taste
Chef
amazing.
Bukhari is in our kitchen. Namhlanje Kuseni. Stick around. We're going to taste all of this in a minute. All right, South Africa, welcome back to our Wellness Wednesday edition of the morning show here on ETV. We've got Chef Bukhari in our kitchen who manifested Veggielicious. It is right now on the shelves in every bookstore near you. You can go out and get it. It talks about all the dishes that we should be eating, you and I, our plant-based food, to just really be a lot more healthier. I've already given up sugar since many, many months ago. So this plant-based vibe is like a thing that I'm going to absolutely try because gratanama, and maybe also it's a mindset that I need to rewire.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you can still have this with a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
And
know
you
what I'm
still
saying?
have all your nutrients
And you still have
and the health in one
and that's
bowl.
for me. That's the approach. You could have this and just add a little chicken there because that's what you want.
Sure.
But your main meal is all plants. Yeah.
Here we go. I'm looking
Okay,
forward to
bana
it.
baka, e re ke le tsholeleng. Ke sa ke plate.
Please, I'm looking forward to it. Now, Chef, we were talking about it just now. I mean, personally, for me, ha ke rate ting.
I know.
At all, at all, at all. Whether it's pap, whether it's porridge, whether it's with sugar, whether no sugar, whether kilishu,
You just
whether
have
ke
trauma.
kutung. I have got trauma.
You've got trauma around tea.
Yes.
I get it. A
So,
lot of people do.
You reckon if I'm having the sorghum like this,
Yes.
that I'm probably gonna like
You're
it? as
gonna
well?
love it. You're gonna love it. If you love grains, if you're a couscous person,
Yes, which I enjoy. and the
quinoa,
yeah.
that's your grain right there.
Okay,
and the nice thing about this is that somehow it's almost like our body knows it. It's a spiritual thing between us and sorghum.
Sure.
Because it's our indigenous one, you know, and our body really knows it. One bite of it like that, you'll be like, okay, why haven't I been eating this?
Sure,
You know?
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it's really, really good.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, and it's easy to cook. If you can cook samp, you can cook sorghum
Yes,
in
yes.
its whole grain like
Next.
that. You can grind it and make use it as flour to bake, and because it's gluten-free, it's also perfect for gluten-free baking.
Okay, fantastic.
It's packed with proteins, it's packed with minerals and nutrients that your body really loves.
And I think a lot of people don't actually know all these facts that you're saying to us, Chef, about sorghum. And
Just know it as ding. I love
keeps
ding.
you regular.
I love sorghum in all its form, but I also understand, you know, people who don't like ding, especially if you ate a lot of it growing up. The smell alone would put you off.
Chef, don't remind me. I'm having PTSD just talking about it. But I'm going to try it like this. I think it's time to eat.
Yes.
It looks good.
It looks amazing.
It looks good.
It is
Broccoli.
so
Looks good.
delicious. Yes.
And so
I'm going to
good.
grab a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Grab some broccoli
And you need
over there.
some of the dressing.
The
just-
dressing.
Yes, I worked hard to make that dressing, please.
Please, you need it. It
Please.
pulls the whole dish together.
It's delicious, Chef. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so
need
much.
some of that dressing.
Delicious.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Very
going to taste
tangy as
without
well.
it.
Yes. Very yummy. Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, you
Enjoy
don't
it.
need that mince that William was talking about earlier on if you're having this.
No, you don't. Yeah.
This is so good, Chef.
It's really, really delicious.
This dressing, Kosi. Aye, well done, brother.
There's a dressing.
Yes.
Dressing, man.
It's not sure.
It's nice. No, it's
Is it?
very nice. It's very delicious.
And Cisneliwa doesn't like ever. And if
And you
she
can
can eat
see
it,
that I'm
you
on the
know.
dressing.
Yeah, I can see. You have it on the
I'm
side
on the
dressing.
dressing.
You're
I'd love
to try the
having
dressing.
a good time
Yeah.
with the dressing.
Because
Very
I'm not a
nice.
big fan of Evo too. It's Chef,
Yeah.
now I'm sounding like a fussy eater.
No, for
But
sure.
it
You
seems
are.
like you've managed a way to just change the narrative in terms of
It
some
would
of
have
these.
been nice to have a little bit of the onion, the grilled onion. Also,
onion.
there's something so sweet. It's sweet. You know, when you grill it, it stops being that sharp. It becomes sweet and creamy and delicious. It's like onion also just is bringing its own glory to the bowl. You know? Yes.
My
try some.
system is so happy
It's
right now.
really good.
This was so
Your
good.
body knows and it remembers, and it's like, yes, this is me. This is what I should be eating more of, and this is what. And also, Mother Nature says, yes, please eat more of that. You know,
So good.
so
Oh,
we
Chef.
can work. So you also, as people at home, can do something towards climate change.
Sure.
Because you always feel like it's outside of your comfort zone, or you can't do anything. It's bigger than all of us. But it's little things that we do, changing our diet, eating more veggies, eating more plants instead of our meat protein and depending on just meat.
We can say onion is similar.
Nothing. Salt
Really?
and pepper. It just shows you how vegetables just love
Wow.
being cooked. If you cook them and keep them authentic, they'll give you their flavor.
Wow.
And it's
I'm
just
enjoying
onion.
this.
There's nothing else in there. It's just salt and pepper.
Wow.
Yes.
This was amazing.
Thank
this is time for
you.
us to wrap it up.
Thank you
because
so
we're about
much.
to eat, Chef. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank
And to you at
you.
home, we'll see you tomorrow from 6 to 8:30. Goodbye and have a wonderful one while we enjoy the rest of the chef.
That's cheeky.